Welcome to the Marketing Mixtape podcast, hosted by me, Brittany Winfield of the Winfield Creative. If you have a burning marketing question, submit it at speakpipe.com/marketingmixtape, and we'd love to get it answered on a future episode. And don't forget to like and subscribe, baby! And if you're really feeling like it, leave us a review, so that way we can find more listeners just like you. But for now, sit tight, because now it's time for the Marketing Mixtape podcast. Let's go! Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Marketing Mixtape podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Winfield, and I love social media. I don't know if you could guess that by now, but especially in this episode, I'm so excited to be talking about trendy versus original content and when to use each for your social media strategy. Because there's benefits to both. There's also downfalls to both. But it's important to know when to use each when thinking about your social media strategy and planning for your social media content. So let's get into it. So trendy content is what you pretty much see a lot of on social media. It is often references to pop culture and different societal topics that people are generally talking about. It can also be the use of viral recurring audios that have been used by a multitude of people. It can also be a way that people have filmed their content. You know, it's anything that you've seen on your newsfeed that is deemed repetitive by many people. And trending content, trending audio, trendy content, it's not a bad thing. I feel like people do give it a bad rap personally, because when it is relied on and you don't have any original content, it's kind of like, okay, you're just kind of like drafting and using other people's, successes to create your own. However, that's also a good thing, in the landscape of wanting to be relevant. Having trendy content is not a bad thing. And when you are inviting your own perspective into the conversation, like, yes, you can use a trending audio, you can use something that has gone viral, but as long as you are adding a fresh perspective and not copying somebody's work, trendy content can be used to engage with your audience. And I know personally, I especially love to use trendy content when I am feeling a little bit of a lapse of creativity of trying to come up with original content on my own. It's kind of this seed of creativity where personally, if I hear a trending audio clip, for example, right now I am filming this at a time where Wicked is the movie that everybody's talking about. It's just about to hit theaters today, and that's all people can talk about right now. And so there are a lot of trending audio clips that feature songs from the Broadway musical and the new movie. There are different audio clips of, Ariana Grande, who is playing a main character, and Cynthia Erivo, who is playing the other main character, and different snippets from the movie. So that's a way where if you hear a trending audio clip, that you can then use that to spin it to your own brand, your own services, your own audiences. Why not use that? Why not use that and utilize the already existing energy and the already existing algorithm hotness, for lack of better words, of that content to then put your own spin on it. And I think that's where, it does get a bad rap that if you're only relying on trendy content that, you can't come up with your own. But that's not true, because if you are able to add to the conversation or maybe invite a new talking point to the conversation, that is just as valid as having to come up with a viral trend all on your own. And I think it's also super important to acknowledge when to hop on trendy content. So if you are ever looking to, become an early adopter and know when to pick up on a trend, I would recommend checking out episode 11 of the Marketing Mixtape podcast. It's called How to Predict Social Media Trends, and it'll give you the roadmap to know when trends are going to become trends, so that way you can become an early adopter and not wait until something is way too viral or past its peak viralness. So you can really have an opportunity to open up this conversation and to share of maybe even a few perspectives. Now, original content, on the other hand, is exactly how it sounds. It is unique. It has never been seen before. It has taken elements that might contain trending, audios and sounds and music, but has never been done in that way. So, original content, for example, it might be using a clip from a TV show, like a line from a TV show that has never gone viral before. Like that particular instance, that particular sound bit has never gone popular before. It might also be original content that is original to your audience. So, it might be you sitting down to film a reel saying, here are 5 ways that the Winfield Creative can provide social media services to your business. That is very original. It's original to my audience because, nobody else is out there creating content on behalf of the Winfield Creative. So this is where you really get to embrace your creativity and to figure out, what is something that might be relevant that your audience would be attracted to. And especially if it's never been done before, you have the opportunity to go viral with it. And, you know, original content, it is probably the harder of the two to mix in. If you are somebody who is routinely used to using trending audios. So that's why I want to mention, if you are up on pop culture, what shows your audience members, are watching. You also have a brand identity where you have shows that are, relevant to your brand. You can explore those pop culture references and figure out what might be one that you can incorporate into your content mix that your audience would enjoy. So it kind of gives you that bridged gap where if you are not comfortable yet quite dabbling into truly original content, this is a way to bridge the gap between going from only using trending audio, trendy content to, figuring out how to get to using original content. Talking more about original content that is unique to your brand, there are other pieces of your marketing plan that you can absolutely start to incorporate into your social media strategy that helps this cross promotion between the other aspects of your marketing plan. So, if you, for example, write a blog, if you have a podcast, if you have been more active in long form media such as YouTube, even if you have been making little announcements on your website, whatever that looks like for you and the other pieces of your marketing plan, it could even not even including digital marketing too. It could be print marketing. It could be how you speak and present your services to people that walk into your store. Whatever that content looks like in the other pieces of your marketing plan, you can translate that into your social media strategy into original content. So, for example, if you have an advertisement that you ran in a local newspaper, you probably have a uh, graphic that has your logo. It usually has a tagline or at least a unique value added, proposition, like depending on what you're promoting. So if it's a sale, for example, you probably have a piece of your advertisement that is juicy enough to bring people into your store, into your location, into your website, whatever that next phase is for them to follow up with you. You probably have a tagline that speaks to that audience persona, and then you have those details of the sale, and then you have your contact information or that follow up piece, that call to action that says, okay, I've got you with the hook. That's that juicy tagline. I've got that information that you need to know, which is how much you're saving on this item from this time to this time only, keeping it time bound. And then you have the follow through, which is more of that call to action. That's that contact information. So imagining an advertisement like that, you can very easily translate that into original content for your social media strategy. So that might be you sitting down and filming a reel that shows that, you showcasing your store or showcasing some items that are on sale, and you using your voice as a voiceover to audibly say the information that others would read on that advertisement. So that's just one example of how you can translate this into more original content for your social media and your digital marketing plan. It also might look like taking that advertisement and literally reposting it as a picture on your social media profile. So here's how we can start to think about, okay, what are some pieces of content that I'm already using? What are the emails that you're sending to your VIP customers, your subscribers? Is there any piece of your newsletter that you can then expand to that external audience that would bring them to become subscribers to your email list? This is how we can use social media as this brand awareness tool. It's really, meant to be this first step of our marketing plan, so that way we bring people even deeper and even closer to our sphere, our world, our brand through the website traffic, through subscribing on an email list, through listening to and subscribing to a podcast, to subscribing to your blog, whatever that next step is that gets them more recurring touch points with you and into your world. Think about how you can maybe translate some of that already existing content into original content for your social media. So now that we know what trendy content is and what original content is, when should you use each for your social media strategy? And for just ease of this episode, I say mix it up. If you really want a routine, if you're a routine type person, I usually say, keep it trendy on Monday, keep it original on Wednesday, keep it trendy on Friday if you're looking for a 3-post schedule throughout the week. Trendy content can always be spun to fit your purpose and goal of your original content, which usually your original content is to promote your brand specifically, to promote your services specifically, to again pull people deeper into your world. Trendy content can always be spun in that way. But what original content cannot do is it does not always have the oomph, power to put you in a place of being relevant with the bigger picture of social media. So, what I mean by that is, I used the example before that right now everybody and their mother is talking about Wicked, the movie that's coming out. We're here in November 2024. What original content cannot do is my 2,000 almost followers on Instagram if I am comparing them talking about the Winfield Creative versus the other things that they are talking about, my brand is not going to be in their top spots of topics that they are talking about. But what I do know what they're talking about is they are talking about what is happening in the media right now. I know they are talking about algorithms and social media, and especially their challenges as small business owners in relation to marketing and more specifically social media plans. I know they are talking about holidays that are coming up because it is November. It is the week before Thanksgiving, and my audience is small business owners who are in the midst of holiday implementing their sales funnels right now, especially with small business Saturday coming up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday, all the holidays, including, the holidays that people take off and celebrate family time. So, what I would do if, I was promoting something right now is thinking about what is my goal for the month, right? My goal is to, for example, get more email subscribers. Just an example, which, by the way, if you are an email subscriber, you will receive Viral Vibes, our trending audio list every single Monday at 6 a.m. Quick plug. So if you are struggling to find trending audios, I would highly recommend subscribing to our email list. You can find it at thewinfieldcreative.com/viral vibes. And every Monday at 6 a.m., I will send you a full list of trending audios so you don't have to go find them yourselves. Quick plug. Shameless, I know. So, where was I going with this? So, if my goal is to gain more people on the Viral Vibes subscription list, which is my lead magnet, I will think in the grand scheme of things of, okay, when I hear an audio, how can I spin it to the ease? So the purpose of them subscribing to Viral Vibes, as it is for you, is you don't have to go look for trending audio on your own. I already do the heavy lifting for you. So that's the value added proposition of subscribing to the email list. So what I would do is I would go find trending audio sounds that I can then relate to that struggle that people have trying to find trending audios. I would maybe use some trending audios, and no matter which ones I choose, I then spin it. So that way I'm relating to the people. Um, and also having that final call to action be, well, I have a solution for you if you subscribe to Viral Vibes at this web address. I will solve that problem for you. Or, your problems are taken care of. Easy peasy solution. And then also creating original content that is directed towards that goal. So original content might be 5 audios I would use this week if you are a retail store promoting Black Friday sales. Original content might be using, as I said, like a clip from the Wicked movie that people haven't clipped before, or the original soundtrack, or the Broadway musical, or Wizard of Oz, because it's stuff that people are already talking about online this week in particular. So when it comes to using each in your social media strategy, it's really about finding a balance. But overall, what it should be is a mix. People want to hear from you directly and your brand. People don't want necessarily just somebody who relies on trends all the time. It's an opportunity to showcase your creativity, as I said earlier, and also no matter which one you decide to go with that day, you can always spin it to fit your marketing goals. And your marketing goals should always align with whatever your business goals should be. So before even deciding, hey, I'm going to post about, like, I'm going to use this sound today, or I'm going to post about this, take a step back and figure out, what is my goal? What would help project my business forward. Because if you are only using your email list to gain sales, if that's where your number one, lead source is, if more people are converting off of your email list than your social media followers are, then that's your goal, is to get them to step 2, which is subscribing to your email list, because the conversions will continue cranking out on your email list. But if you can expand the quality is already there from converting from your email list to your website or whatever you're selling. So your next goal is to increase the quantity of people on that list if the quality is already there. So yeah, that is what I have for you today. Trendy versus original content, it's all about balance. It's all about having a little bit of fun and not being afraid to showcase your personality when it comes to content, because authenticity will always be viral. It'll always be trendy. And the more people can know, like, and trust your brand, the more the algorithm will see that people are engaging with your content, and the better it will be overall for your engagement rates and your conversions. I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Marketing Mixtape podcast. Again, my name's Brittany Winfield. I am the owner of the Winfield Creative, and you can follow us on Instagram. I also want to make sure that you caught that every single Monday at 6 a.m., I send out a trending audio list to my email subscribers and only them alone. So make sure you get on that list, please. It's at thewinfieldcreative.com/viral vibes. Until next time, see ya. And also, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Marketing Mixtape podcast, brought to you by the Winfield Creative. If you enjoyed this episode, we would love it if you could like and subscribe and leave a review and do all the things so that way we can find more people just like you. And if you still have burning marketing questions that you want answered, be sure to submit them now at speakpipe.com/marketing mixtape. Until next time, this is Brittany Winfield with the Winfield Creative, signing off.